Right now, underneath your feet, in almost every forest in the world, something is happening that most people have no idea about. Trees are sending each other warnings, sharing food with their neighbors, even feeding their own offspring from yards away without a single root ever touching. It sounds like science fiction. It's not. Scientists have a name for it, and they've been proving it for almost 30 years. By the end of this video, you'll never walk through a forest the same way again. For most of history, we assumed trees were solitary, each one competing alone for sunlight, water, and space. Survival of the fittest, one tree at a time. That assumption shaped how we managed forests for decades. Plant them in neat, isolated rows, like crops, each tree fending for itself. But in the 1990s, one forest ecologist ran an experiment that completely upended that idea. Her name was Suzanne Simard, and what she found underground changed how scientists understand forests forever. Here's the reveal. Simard grew up around forestry in Canada, and she noticed something the tidy, managed forests didn't have: connection. So she set up an experiment, injecting radioactive carbon into a fir tree and tracking where that carbon actually traveled underground. It didn't stay in that one tree. It moved, through the soil, directly into a neighboring pine tree of a completely different species. The trees were connected, not through their roots touching each other, but through something in between, a vast underground web of fungal threads, linking one root system to another. In 1997, this network got a name that stuck. Scientists started calling it the Wood Wide Web. Here's how it actually works. Roughly 90% of land plants form partnerships with fungi in the soil, called mycorrhizal relationships. The fungus wraps around or into the tree's roots, and in exchange for sugar the tree makes through photosynthesis, the fungus delivers water and nutrients the tree's roots can't reach on their own. But those fungal threads don't just serve one tree. A single network of threads can stretch for miles, physically linking hundreds of trees underground. One scientist described it perfectly. The trees are the users, and the fungi are the cables. Once trees are connected through this network, something remarkable happens. Resources start moving between them. A tree standing in full sun, producing more sugar than it needs, can send some of that surplus through the fungal network to a shaded neighbor struggling to photosynthesize. In some of Simard's research, older, larger trees in a network, sometimes called mother trees, were found sending carbon and nutrients toward nearby seedlings, especially ones they were genetically related to. A struggling seedling buried in shade, barely getting any direct sunlight, can still get something like life support delivered underground. This is the part that sounds the most like science fiction, and it's real. In one study, researchers watched a Douglas fir that had been attacked by insects appear to send a chemical warning signal through the fungal network to a nearby ponderosa pine. That pine tree then ramped up its own defense enzymes, even though nothing had touched it yet. In a separate experiment, when researchers damaged one tree's needles, connected neighboring trees started activating their own defense genes, essentially preparing for an attack that hadn't reached them yet. It's not communication the way humans think of it, but functionally, one tree is warning another, and the other tree is listening. Forests aren't just made of individual trees competing for the same patch of sunlight. Some research suggests they behave more like extended families. Seedlings connected to an established network, tapped into older trees nearby, tend to have better access to resources than seedlings trying to establish themselves completely alone. It reframes what a forest actually is. Not hundreds of individuals in quiet competition, but a connected system, moving resources to where they're needed most. Now, to be fair, and this is important, not everything about the Wood Wide Web is settled science. Since this research went mainstream, some scientists in the field have pushed back on how far the popular version of the story has gone, questioning how widespread these networks really are in every forest type, how much seedlings actually benefit in practice, and whether older trees are truly prioritizing younger ones on purpose, or whether that's us reading intention into a much simpler chemical process. The core discovery that fungal networks physically connect trees and move real resources between them is well established. The more dramatic claims, mother trees deliberately nurturing their young, forests behaving like a single cooperative organism, are still actively debated by researchers. That doesn't make it less fascinating. It makes it real science, still being figured out in real time. So what does this actually mean for how we treat trees? It means cutting down a single, unimportant tree isn't as isolated an event as it looks. That tree might have been sending resources to seedlings around it, or serving as a hub connecting dozens of other trees through the network beneath the soil. It also means the tidy, single-species tree rows, so common in commercial forestry and landscaping, might be missing something forests have always relied on: diversity and connection between different species, not isolation. Next time you walk through a forest, look at the trees around you differently. They're not just standing there, quietly competing for sunlight. Underneath your feet, in the dark, threads finer than hair are moving sugar from a tree in full sun to one buried in shade, carrying a warning from a tree under attack to one that hasn't been touched yet, connecting a seedling too small to survive alone to a network built by trees that came before it. We spent centuries assuming forests were made of individuals. The truth, still being uncovered one study at a time, is that a forest might be closer to a single, connected system than we ever gave it credit for. If this changed the way you'll look at your next walk through the woods, subscribe, because next time we're uncovering something else hiding in plain sight, right under a tree you've probably walked past 100 times.